Good day and welcome back to another week of Talking Technical, and thank you for the requests. But it looks like that the markets is almost shrugging off the problems in the Middle East. We now and then see new negotiation strategies. Everybody's thinking what can happen next and what will happen next. But it looks like that the markets, especially the S&P 500, is edging higher. Nothing can stop that market, and it looks like that everybody's seeing some value in some of the, you can almost say, software companies. They've been under immense pressure the last few months, but it looks like some of the money is flowing back there. And we also see or hear that some of the junior companies, or let's say the mid caps in the S&P 500, is also starting to show some upward momentum. But let's kick off and let's see what is the request for this week. The first one is iShares Silver Trust. Now, this is a exchange traded fund where you put your money in, and these guys then buy some of the silver mines, and they give you exposure to that. And it looks like since about February, the market is almost consolidating around these levels between $60 and $80. So it's a big range here. But if I look at the chart, I will rather say, let's look at this 50-day moving average, because this 50-day moving average is telling us now every time that there's like a fight around this 50-day moving average, and then eventually it shows us either a strong move above it or below it, it struggles. So my first sign of strength will be above $70, $70.88. That's where that 50-day moving average waits. And the other thing is maybe something interesting here that I want to point out. If you have got a chart that's got plenty of windows, there's a gap, there's one, there's two in the last few sessions, there's another one to the top, there's another one to the top, that's always a symptom that the price of the instrument or the share is almost erratic, and that it moves on thin volume or sometimes on optimism and fear. So if I've got a chart with those many windows all over the show, I really do not concentrate a lot on that, because I know usually it does close, but I do not want to almost emphasize that it will close. Now, if I look at this chart and that 50-day moving average holds our key, there you are. Even if you draw this resistance line in, you will see it will also point to that 50-day moving average. So if you want that exposure above 50-day moving average, you can buy it there, but use the low of this little tiny doji of $64.13 as your protection or your stop loss, so that you know you cannot burn your fingers. But I've seen over the years that if you get involved with an exchange traded fund like a silver or a gold or pharmaceutical or whatever the case may be, then rather phase yourself in. Don't go in and buy all the stock that you want at once. Then rather phase it in over a few months. Then you maybe play safe doing that. Let's look at the next one, RMH. Now while I'm showing this chart at the moment, there's circulars coming around where the company is asking everybody, what do you think? Do you accept the minority offer that the directors is giving minority shareholders? But it looks like this 48 cents is like almost you can say a pendulum. Above 48, we can maybe expect some higher prices. Below that, we can expect lower prices. The offer is at 47 cents. But if I look at this 48 cents, if this 48 cents remain a support, then probably I think behind all the closed doors and all the fighting that's happening, there's maybe some move to maybe eventually pay more for the company, because I can see that a lot of minorities, and strangely enough, I'm also a minority, does not accept that offer that they are giving through to minorities. So very interesting chart here, but I think for those that vote and those that did not vote, or whatever the case may be, use this 48 cents as your guideline, because it looks like there's like a reluctancy amongst minorities to say, listen, we are keen to sell our shares at this level, but we do not know. We have no idea what is happening, and we don't know who's the majority shareholders. We'll have to find out in time. But technically, it looks like that above 48 cents, there's maybe a chance that the company will maybe edge a little bit higher from here. Well, let's have a look at Pepkor. Now, Pepkor is an interesting story. I mean, everybody loves the company. It is a retailer. Everybody believes that the retailer must go up. But if I look at this chart, it looks like every time that there's a little bit of a buyer, there's some sellers coming in and knocking the share down. Now, at the moment, we've got a problem with South Africa with inflation. Everybody's nervous on the inflation story, and that's why the chart looks a little bit reluctant to me. But if I look at this chart and I look at this gap here, and this is a different story, this gap is quite interesting. This gap sits between 26 Rand 37 cents and it will close at 26 and 49. Now that gap is quite interesting to me because I think that gap can maybe close in time if the company produce, and we know that the company is doing well. They've got plenty branches across South Africa, and they also mentioned that they want to change into sort of more than a banking company within those stores. So they want to have maybe a little bank with the name of Pepkor inside those stores to assist their clients. And it looks like all these retailers nowadays try to branch out into that area of maybe banking or financial services because they've got the clients. But for me, if I look at Pepkor, the first sign of strength will be above this 22 Rand 71. You can actually find a little bit of a better price, 22.60. Above 22.60, it can easily go back and it can maybe first reach for the 50-day moving average. That will be at 23.76. That little shadow there to the top is maybe a next target of 24.40. But if this wedge plays out to the top, we'll probably see the share price in time to come at 25 Rand and 36 cents. And just to show you where we do get that, then you learn with me, because that's the idea of this program, is to teach people or introduce them to the wonderful world of technical analysis so that they can also learn and see. And there you are. If you do the extension there you are. Then it can take the share all the way, let's call it around 26. But I think maybe if we're lucky, this gap is still there at the top. But I think then fears of inflation and those kind of things needs to disappear before we can look at that. There's a very interesting share, and I am a keen supporter of Reinet. I've got the share as well. And the reason why I've got the share is part of that they're sitting on huge amounts of cash. And I mean, it's not often that the Rupert family is in a corner. They're in a corner here because they're sitting on a lot of cash, and they either need to pay the clients or the investors a good dividend, or they need to explore this money into a new venture and maybe do something with that. But for me, if I look at this move of the chart, it looks like it pulls back, it gives us a beautiful rally, it pulls back, it gives us a beautiful rally. Maybe we're going to see a pullback here, but for me, I'm holding my eye or keeping my eye on this level. And if I see this chart and I see there's a low, there's a higher low, there's another higher low, there's another higher low, I think in time to come, I don't know if the announcement is maybe soon. That I will never know because I have no idea what's going to happen there. But what I do see is every time that it gets to this 50-day moving average, the last couple of weeks, there's some buyers around you. And look at these lower shadows around this 50-day moving average on the candles. That makes me positive that the share can go higher. But boy, oh boy, if this level breaks, and that's at 593.42, you'll maybe be surprised that we'll probably see 600 Rand or even higher. Because what do we see here? We see a rounding bottom. Now, a rounding bottom is usually a bullish formation, but where's the key? The key is it must get above 593.42. So maybe for those that likes Reinet or think that there's going to be a good dividend getting paid out, or there's a new venture coming, then maybe look at this 50-day moving average to add in onto your position, and hopefully you can get it there again. But let's give a stop loss. I doubt if it's necessary because of all that amount of cash, but let's give you a stop loss of 537 just to protect your capital. But I must be honest, if 537 break, it must break on very, very, very bad news. But we never know in markets. We've seen strange things over the year, but let's see. That's Reinet above that level, and I just want to say again, above 593.42, this chart really looks good to me. Well, let's have a look at MTN. MTN is one of those companies, nothing can go wrong. The share can just go higher. Everybody believes that it is going higher. And what do we see? Every time that it gets to this 50-day moving average, there's some keen buyers around here. It almost looks exactly the same as Reinet. The only difference is this company gets a nice boost of the high oil price because they've got big assets in Nigeria, a massive client base there, and boy oh boy, above that level of 230.98, we can see maybe a ascending triangle breaking to the upside. That is bullish. An ascending triangle is bullish because it gives you higher lows. It's got an overhang resistance here, and if that breaks to the top, boy oh boy, then we can maybe see MTN close to 250 in time to come. But let's rather stick to our stop loss. Use this as your stop loss. There's your 50-day moving average, 198.72. If you do buy it above 213.98 to chase the momentum to the upside. Well, let's finish off the show with Thungela. Remember Thungela, there's nothing wrong with Thungela. Everybody likes the company, but maybe with the oil price, it looks like there's some ugly candles around this 50-day moving average happening now. And for me, 50-day moving average was first the support. Now it changes into a resistance. That shows a little bit of weakness. And where will I get nervous about Thungela? There's two lines. The first one is below the low of that ugly bearish candle, and then the next one will be, of course, below this one. Then you know that the momentum wants to swing to the downside. Then you'll probably see another lower low, but the first sign of weakness will be below 132.94, and the final clock will ring below 126.50. Well, thank you for watching the show. Thank you for visiting our website, www.fransdeklerk.com, for more info. And as usual, all the best, and we will chat again.